Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. So I hope everyone's having a beautiful start to your weekend because we are upon the weekend. So I was just finishing up a little video and over on my side channel. And I just want to tell you this before I forget. And after I did the video, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was on bridges. Bridges has just been a theme of mine now for the past month, I would say easily. So, but welcome. And I am, I just wanted to say good morning over on Patreon also. So, I am so happy to have you with me. If you are new, welcome to my channel. You know, we focus on creating art with as much of eco-friendly, earth-friendly fabrics and materials, and really being conscious and mindful of what we're creating with. Because, you know, nowadays, you know, I kind of want to dive a little bit into that. And I got to take a cough drop here because if I don't, um, I won't be able to talk at all. So, um, you know, some clothing today in the fast fashion industry is actually made with what they call nanoplastics. So it has a lot of plastics supply, materials in it, and they don't break down readily. So, like an organic fabric. So, the amount of years is unbelievable on some of them. So today I thought I would share with you a little bit about the poem and the project Bridge of Life that I did recently, and I appreciate everybody's comments and coming along with me on that project. And we're going to do more wall pieces and more art pieces. But what I did with that Bridge of Life is I wrote a poem, and it's the original um poem. But what I am doing now is I'm working on an extension of it. But I wanted to share with you just a few of the stanzas, kind of jump around a little bit here. And it is out there on Kindle, and so it's an ebook. That's the original poem. So there's another book coming out with the extended version about and it's called the Bridge of Life. You know, it's definitely a Friday today. Really, it is. It's been like this all morning, and the morning isn't even that long yet. So it's definitely. So thank you for having a cup of coffee with me. And I appreciate every single one of you. I over on Patreon, I just wanted to share this just in case you're new and you haven't heard yet. Okay, so over on Patreon, there will be a feature. You can join free on a free trial, right? But some people want to be able to chat, like they want to get on the free trial and chat, and they want to see how that is. But we have what they call a community chat, which is automatic with your membership. you can chat. And then what's automatic too is that you can have a direct chat with me. So I can, if you have certain questions you want to ask about art, um, how to do something, this and that. And today, um, because this also is going over to the Patreon community, there's some people over there, some members who are interested in the Boro Sashiko inspired hats. So I want to share with you the lining, and I did put it over on Patreon, but I want to share it for everybody today because it may be a tip that you're interested in if you are making a Boro Sashiko hat. Excuse me. So with that, I also want to share a few other things with you. I just found out very recently, also with Patreon, that I can share it. Like I can put the link right onto Facebook. I could put it on LinkedIn. I could put it on Tumblr. So I didn't know that. So that will make it easier for people to find us. So I'll be doing that too, just to let you know that will be happening. So before we get to the poem, because I do want to talk about that a little bit, especially if you're interested in writing and you write. So the hat, when you put the lining in the hat, there's many ways, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can put the lining, excuse me, you can make your pieces quilted first, and then you can construct your hat. You can do it that way. Or you can have this hat. This is how I did it on the other video. We had the hat inside out, or you can have it this way. If you have it, I'm sorry, if you have it the right side in, like this, and you're putting the lining in, and you just want to check and see how the lining looks going around, you can turn it inside out like that. Now, the other thing is if you want to put the lining on this way, you can too. So there's multiple ways that you can do the lining and what's ever easiest for you. Many times I do it with the hat with the right side showing, and then I put the lining in. So this hat, I will be getting to do the sewing, and that will be done. And I shared with a lot of you that the bear is done, but just in case some of you did not see it, or you didn't see that particular video, this beautiful bear is ready for display. And I will be working on the next bear will be either the black bear of Vermont or the brown bear of Vermont. So, oh, we don't have brown bears. I'm sorry. Black bear of Vermont or the brown bear. The black bears are very small compared to other bears. And the brown bears, I'm still studying the anatomy, but they're pretty muscular, pretty big. So I will be needle felting probably the brown bear because I don't have the black wool. The wool I have is parts of it are black. It's like a dark, dark, dark brown, and parts of it are black, but I don't think I have enough, is what I'm saying. So with that, anyway, so what I'm going to do is read part of this to you and let me know what your thoughts are on it. Because the bridge of life isn't like, I think some people are assuming it's a really negative kind of a poem, but it's not. It's not at all. But anyway, this is one stanza, and I'm going to jump around a little bit because I'm working on, like I said, an extended version, so that will be coming out. But this is towards the beginning, or the beginning. I'll read the first two stanzas and then jump. The bridge of life wakes with the sun's rays, dancing upon its floor. Misty morning dew glimmers upon the rustic wooden overpass, clad with primroses, ivy, and moss. They reach for sun kisses until they are no more. That's just the beginning. Then, oops, hopefully I didn't lose the page. I marked the page I wanted to read. So, okay, here we go. Um, let's see. Nope, that's still too early in it. This is towards the end of the original poem. I wanted to try to get you a little bit of I'll just give you towards the end of the original that's out there on Kindle. The bridge of life knows its purpose as it melds with nature and universal energies, coupled with sweet whispers of passers-by, listening to gentle songs of the loon and nightingale. So that's the end of the first original poem. From there, I start to build up on it, and I make it so that you can't really guess where it's going. And so that's where I'm at. You know, if you write, a lot of you know that sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night with these thoughts of an idea of a poem. It just kind of comes to you. And you know, I say from experience, if you don't write it down, you could lose it. You could forget. I mean, your day could start off where you just get so busy that you really do forget about what you were thinking. So I always keep a little notebook next to my bedside table. And if I have a thought or something, I wake up and just write it down. Maybe I don't do anything with it, but maybe I do. So many times I do. So anyway, I wanted to give you an update. What I do with the updates over on Patreon is I'm kind of like giving updates in my art world, and I don't really do that with YouTube. So I really wanted to share some of that with you. So yeah, this is one thing I am working on, my poem, um, and we'll put that on Kindle, so that will be easily accessible. So and like I said, the original right now is out there, The Bridge of Life. So the second one will be called the same thing, only it will be called extended version. So with that, just like being in an art community, I really believe it's important to try to be around people who, if you're a writer, to be in a writing community. Hi, good morning. And I'm happy to see you. I'm just kind of, for lack of a better way to describe it, I'm a little bit babbling. I am getting more to the updates, but in a broader sense, kind of like not so much the projects we're working on, but kind of in general, what we're doing, or where I'm at in my art world, because it's a little bit interesting. It's a little bit interesting, and I'm going to be honest with you. I did a little side channel this morning, a little video on bridges. I'm writing this poem on bridges, and Brianna, I just shared like it's in the video, you'll see it, but I shared a few stanzas of this poem, Bridge of Life. And I didn't realize I just over on Vermont Sun and Shade until I was done with the video and uploaded it, that I'm just talking about bridges again. And I think it's a really good thing right now, because I feel like I need a bridge to walk over right now, because here's today, Friday, and maybe the bridge will be over the weekend because there's a few things that are ongoing in my art world that I feel as an artist I really want to share with other artisans because it's a very real part of our life. When we take our art, we bring it out there, we share it, and we trust whatever venue it is enough to sell it. We put it out there. So, as you know, I shared over on Patreon Hub that I've had this ongoing issue, and I'm not going to drop names or do anything like that, or even talk in a negative manner, but just very objectively, just an ongoing issue where there's my artwork selling, and this is from February, so it's a long time, and not getting my money or commission, right? So that's a long time. So you see why my frustration now. We're in June, and I am holding on to the faith and all the good vibes and everything and hoping that this is resolved. But one thing I'm doing is staying on top of it. It is frustrating. Thank you. Very. I mean, I'm feeling it. I gotta tell you, this is, my nature. You see me on here, and I totally enjoy my time with you. I'm like having my Zen cup of coffee. This is my favorite time is to get on here, right? And talk about art. But yeah, it's kind of what, for lack of a better description, it's kind of creeping into my psyche, It's creeping into my being. So it's like, yes, please let this get resolved. This is a very real part of being an artist. And this has happened to me before. Not to this degree. Um, not this long and this type of, it's a good thing. This is why I was saying on the video, it's very important to track your work and to speak up. And I have definitely been absolutely been communicating. So if I didn't, it would be very, very, very easy that that I would never get it. That's how I can see it here. Now, also in my artisan world, I shared with you that I submitted to a art and craft show. So to track the check, because they said in this, I'm sure it would get, since you're advocating so well. Yeah. I mean, I hope so because, and I should be able, well, I will stay on it because, right, my background being HR, right, human resources, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm on it like a bee is to honey. But the frustrating part is that, the length of time and that waiting. So, and waiting and communicating and waiting and communicating. So, yeah, I am taking steps to definitely resolve it in what I call a seamless manner. So, I'm really hoping today's Friday, right? And now I'm starting to look at the dates and all of that, and I'm like, oh, I don't like being in that I don't like that vibe. So, but I love this community. I love the art community. And this is kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Um, like the art and craft show. And first, let me put it this way, my ADD is kicking in, but I believe many that we need to have our foot in a few different places, right? We need to have a few different things going on. Like, that's why I don't monetize on YouTube. I'm not going to be directed by their numbers. Or like I see a lot of YouTubers get really nervous if they get what they call it doesn't sound it almost sounds like a demon, right? If they lose their money for a certain video, they get really nervous because They're working day and night to do those videos, and then all of a sudden now their rent or mortgage is threatened because they're suddenly not getting money from YouTube. So, I like to have a few different things going and just kind of like that. And I've always been like that. When I was raising my kids as a working mom, I always had another job, always. And I just think it gives you peace of mind. So I'm just really happy I'm not like totally dependent on this one place. Now, to give you another example, I sent the check to the art and craft show. And this is how they had left in their policy, as I shared with you. I think I shared it primarily on Patreon again. But the thing is, yeah, send your check. And people who were here last year get priority over you. So if we get your check on time, if we get your check postmarked by the 31st, you might have a chance to get in, or you might not. And if you don't, we're going to shred your check. So now to me that's I do have a problem with that to some degree. It's like, why would we send our check now? Because it's local, I sent my check in, but I also had it tracked, so I spent an extra few bucks for that. I've heard absolutely nothing from them, so guess what that means? It means I'm not in the show. Now I gotta tell you, I know I'm gonna be 65 years old, but seriously, I mean, what would you say? Don't you think the responsibility, if you're putting on a show like that, and it's a huge art and craft, I mean, they're bringing in tons of money, and I get that they're volunteers, but the volunteers very quickly say they have no time. So, but maybe it should still be in the agenda that these people who sent money, they need a post, maybe even say to them, put your own self-addressed envelope in and we'll send it back to you. But they wouldn't even do that. So I think, to me, we're going in a different direction of less responsibility, more what you call mishaps because of it. So I think, and I do think that's kind of what's happening at the other place, maybe. I'm not saying that the people have less or not taking responsibility, but saying the systems are like that. Like, I had one show last year, and I paid them and they never sent confirmation. He said just show up. So I thought that was interesting. A shame that they didn't even let you know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just even send me an email. So it's one of those low vibing days, and I'm sure I'll get past it. I don't like to stay in that, right? In that, but this is life. This is part of life. And this is actually the bridge of life. This is quite long now. I printed it out. But because the bridge of life, it is like this. Life has its ups, it has its downs. But I go a little bit deeper in this, and I get a little supernatural in this in a good way. So, and when it's all done and I have the extended version on Kindle, then I'll share a few stanzas from the rest of it and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, I wrote this down because I really wanted to share kind of currently where I'm at, because now not a member, a viewer over on YouTube said to me this morning, "Oh, I love your artwork," because I have a video where I was sharing my angels over here. And she goes, "I love your artwork. I hope you're getting your artwork out there." And I couldn't really explain to her kind of what I'm talking to you about right now. It's why I don't have my work out there. I mean, there are venues. Yes, you can put your work out there, but you have to kind of almost prepare yourself. You got to remind yourself that life is not perfect and things can happen. And are you really okay with things happening, let's say to your artwork? So like these guys, these polar bears here, this guy, he's going to go in a display case. So I'm not putting him in the store. He's going on the shelf. He will be, um, actually, probably what I will do is start shifting my focus and strategy a little bit. So this is, I believe, this is actually what I used to teach the managers when I was a manager is be flexible. If any of them are watching this, they'll remember me always saying that. Be flexible because you do want things perfect, 1, 2, 3. However, realistically, things change. And when they change, we need to change with it, right? So maybe they might have certain ways they do things in their department. They're trying to get production out fast. Somebody comes in and they're brand new. They need to change things a little bit to accommodate the person being trained. So things like that. But it's the same in the art world. It's like I have to remind myself of that. Things. So guess what? The strategy. My accent is coming out. Sometimes I get a little Italian accent because I grew up with a family of broken English. Guess what? If I'm really upset, the Italian little bit will come out and I can't help it. But anyway, with that, I want to change the strategy a little bit of what I'm doing with my art. So I'm making notes and I'm also realizing that I need to get into a community of writers who write and get into more networking in that area also because I am a very strong a poet. I don't write books or any, books like novels and stuff like that. Um, could you imagine me writing a novel? ADD, you'd have chapters intertwined all over the place. The poems I can go straight through, but you wouldn't know where you were at and what chapter you were on if you a book I wrote for sure. And but yeah, so the arts and crafts, I'm going to continue focusing on I want to really get a lot of my yo-yo quilt done and maybe done this weekend. Now I wanted to share this with you because I had this thought about the yo-yos and I'm like, oh God, I shouldn't do this, but um I don't think I have it near me right now. I have 3 pieces that are and I think I've shown them to you, but they're of yo-yo, of like a yo-yo table mat, a heart with yo-yos, a tree with that's more Christmas. But I was thinking of those pieces just sitting there. I mean, I'm like, is it like a bad thing to take the yo-yos off of there and add it to my project? But they're small. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but it's a thought. So if you have made some of your yo-yo quilts are astounding that you're working on. I cannot wait to see them. In the Patreon community, everybody, we've got artists who are sharing their work, photographs of their WIPs, of their yo-yo quilts, and they are gorgeous, especially the little star yo-yos are just adorable. And yeah, you can get the templates. They might even have templates like if you're into the shapes and whatnot, like the squares because you can do squares, you can do the triangles. I've done the square, and but I'm not crazy about it. I like the yo-yo, and I like the stars that some of you are doing. They're gorgeous, and they really add a texture, a vibe to the piece. I mean, I can't wait to see it. So yeah, so I'll be working on the yo-yos, and the granny squares will come back out in a bit. My braided bowls. I'm finishing this hat behind me here. And today I am, oh, the biggest thing of all, I'm finishing the book of my art world. So it's not like a huge, big book. As a matter of fact, it's going on Kindle because I I don't have the many, many pages that they want for the book, but I can get it easily on Kindle. So that's what I'm going to do. It just makes my life a lot easier, and will make yours easier too, because Kindle's super easy to access. And I have this fabric, which I showed you a while ago, to make a hat of just all of this fabric with designs. So it will probably be like this. It will be these rectangles, pieces, and these are about, if I'm remembering, I want to say 5 by 5. That's what this was. Yeah, this, well, it says it shows 6. So it is 6. These are 6 by 5. So, but you can make them, any length you want, and you just, what kind of bucket hat do you want? And this one's mine, so I have my hair up, but I wear this bucket hat, and I like the fact that that it has shade if I go outside with it. I love it. So, anyway, the next hat will be like this one, but it will be in the light denim material. So, let's see here. Yeah, so I think that's about what I was going to share today. I just have a number of these projects we'll continue working on in the book. I say definitely reuse the yo-yos. You're not happy with what they are on currently. Well, I mean, I use them as like demos. I use them as demos because I'm always like, I have I think I have over 400 videos now over on I'm gonna put my hat back on. My hair is just awful. But I have them over on piecing. Oh, piecing is intimidating to me, but I will try. Okay, yeah. So this is what I would say. It's totally intimidating. I get it. People have said that. It's oh, thank you. Do you know, thank you so much for saying that, but I'm gonna tell you, because it's you notice early on in my videos, my hair is very odd because it's got these uneven waves. But the thing of it is, I've tried to give it some attention. So I've tried to put, like gel in it and then brush it straight back. And then I've tried to put an oil at the tips to just make it nice and flow nicely. The oil seems to work better on my hair because my hair's it's a little coarse compared to, not too bad, but the oil seems to work. But thank you. But yeah, the hats are intimidating, and people have said that. So this is why I keep popping on. Like, I've done a few videos now on the hats, but I plan to keep doing them, because now what will help you is this is the model head. Now this is a large one, and you can see it's a guy's face and this and that. Excuse me. The smaller one is a good one to start with, and just start like playing with it, like wrapping, or I was going to try to find a. No, I don't have one right here. Buy a hat, like just buy a bucket, like a regular bucket hat, and piece together pieces on it. That's a great way to get oriented. And use larger pieces going around first, because if you do that, it will give you a very good sense of measure, of you get oriented better on, and don't be afraid, just do it. If it doesn't look right to you, you can unpin it, do it again. If you sew it incorrectly, you can pull the stitches out and do it again. And and give yourself time. Like if you can't do it in one afternoon, and I mean time. Like if you have never made a hat before, give yourself, weeks or month, like have it be like an ongoing project to be going back and forth to, because that that way you can relax, you can take time to look at it. I find as an artist and as a sewist, my perspective changes. Oh, you are very welcome. Well, Brianna, too, you are a wonderful sewist. And I saw some of your work right on the hub. And I'll tell you, you've got a real flair for the design. So I think if you do a hat and do it the way that you think, like, because you can kind of watch how I'm doing it. And then when you're actually applying it and doing it yourself, you'll be like, wait a minute, I think this needs to go this way or that way or this whatever. And you will all of a sudden start to get in the flow. And once you make one, then whatever else you make. This one right here, I am going to make this style because I have someone who keeps asking me for it. She really, really wants it. So I am going to do it on video, on the video. And then I can do, well, this would be a good video to do over on Patreon on the membership for Jean Hat. This one I'm going to do like now, like this next week I'm doing this for this lady. I'll just put that on YouTube. However, when we get to July, we'll have a couple of locked videos detail. And this way you can ask questions, back and forth and whatnot. If you're interested, it doesn't mean you have to do a hat that moment, but it means you can see and you'll have the hub to go to and, study the video that way. And I will think about this and find the easier way, the less intimidating way of making one of these Boro Sashiko hats. Because what's going to make it Boro? It's going to be your visible stitching. So if you do, and maybe we'll even do that. I'm going to write that down, because what we want to do, what I think would help you, is to take a hat that's already made from the thrift shop and just add a few Boro patches to it. Just get the feel of and the look of where those patches would go on a hat. A lot of people do that. They're doing that over on Grailed. Like they're taking jeans and jackets and they're adding the patches. But that's a very good way to get oriented to the measure and everything, to the whole project. And then you just start getting really comfy with the idea that, wait a minute, I can make a hat. Like I can make my own hat. And you're quite innovative actually too, Brianna, with your design. So yeah, I could see that happening. but yeah, so we'll work on that. That makes me really happy. Um, I'm gonna put this guy back over here. And so I do have at least one art and craft show for September to be making sure I need to have things ready for that. So that's good. That one is already paid for and confirmed. Um, I am, maybe that's old fashioned, but I do look for confirmations. I mean, I don't know. It seems to be like that's the thing. Well, this is the thing. We have to get a bunch of things made for it. So I've been trying. Excuse me, I want to show you something else. Sorry about my voice. That's why I have the coffee. This is a bag, like a purse that I made a while ago. And I think I showed it to you. It's definitely over on YouTube. It's out of a jean pair of pants. And it says dream, and there's the lining. This was a waist belt band, and it's very simplistic and it's stamped. So we're gonna make some of these too. This is like at the bottom of the list of all the projects we have, but it's there. I just wanted to show that. If you're out there scouting for your jeans, your denim, your materials, it sometimes it takes time to find them, because for me, I'm not spending $20 for a pair of jeans in a thrift shop. I'll spend um I will spend up to 5, but I'm not going to go past that, because unless I really really can't find any. But that's about what they are around here anyway. Yeah, gather your scrap jean fabrics and just get to work. Yeah, and the other thing too, I was thinking this, just like my friend gave me these jean shirts. Tell your friends. Say, "Hey, seriously? If you're getting rid of your pair of jeans, do not throw them away or bring them to the thrift. I will take them for you." Just just let them know you save them a trip to the thrift shop, and you're getting some extra fabrics to make your Boro Sashiko inspired projects. So anyway, with that, um I am so happy that I was able to get on here today and connect with you. The week doesn't feel right unless I'm on here at some point connecting with you. And it makes me happy, and it gives me an idea in which direction I'm going. Because I could go in 5 different directions at the same time, and I can't keep up with myself. So, um, anyway, with that, I before I lose my voice again, I hope everybody has a beautiful weekend. Um, yes, you have a wonderful day too. And I am happy that you caught us live, or caught me live. Thank you. And with that, you have a beautiful weekend, and I will be connecting with everyone over the weekend on Patreon. So thank you so much for being here, and love and light.